everyone, it's Randy. So it is actually the morning of New Year's Eve, and I just thought it'd be cool to recap 2020 and just share some positive things that I actually took back from the year, because of course 2020 was like the year for a lot of people, and it was a lot from everything that just went on. But I decided to just take some moments and just to think and reflect on, despite how 2020 was, what good things did I learn from it? Like, how did I grow? What did I realize? And so that's exactly what I want to do in this video, because I feel like maybe someone out there will resonate with exactly what I'm saying, or this would just be a good opportunity after watching this video to actually just take some moments and don't think about all of the bad that happened in 2020, but think about, despite everything that happened, what did you learn? How did you grow? What did you get out of 2020? So I'm actually just going to go off of 4 big topics that are just like the categories in my life. And I'm just going to go down with relationships, school, rheumatoid arthritis, and my relationship with God. And then of course, I'll just recap how 2020 was and what I am looking forward into 2021. So just to get started with relationships, I realized in 2020 that who you surround yourself with really matters. I really tried to surround myself with people that were positive, that were supportive, that were loving, caring, because of course 2020 had its downs. And I realized that if I kept surrounding myself around people that were negative or that were upset and just were always talking down, then that really affected my mood, and that affected my perspective on life. And I really felt like it was hindering me from seeing what great things were actually happening in 2021. So just surrounding myself with the right people as 2020 started to really pick up really helped change a lot, because there were many times where I was tired of school or really tired of anything, and just keeping myself grounded around people that were positive helped me to keep pushing. So I really grasped a greater need and desire and appreciation for positive people. Now, as far as school was something, school is a lot. It definitely was just so different learning in a Corona environment, having to either be fully online as we were for one trimester, and then for the next trimester we were a hybrid. So we were listening to pre-recorded lectures, but then we were taking tests in person, and it was just so hard learning like a clinical based curriculum online and being forced to actually test it in person. So that was just something in itself. And I realized that with school, I had to deal with perfectionism. So the biggest thing that I took away from 2020 and school is that I am not perfect, and that's okay. No one is perfect. So why was I beating myself up trying to be perfect, especially during a time that I couldn't control? I couldn't control Corona. I couldn't control how the professors were teaching, how my school organized everything. I couldn't control any of that. Yet I was so hung up on wanting to be perfect. And I really just had to let that go, because it was weighing me down so much, and it was just messing with me. And I started to believe that I wasn't a good student, or I wasn't smart, or I couldn't actually get my doctorate, and it just really started to mess with me. So I had to take a moment and realize that perfectionism is not worth it. I'm not perfect. I will never be perfect. So I shouldn't just hang up on that and wake up every morning trying to be perfect. Also in school with Corona, I gained a greater appreciation for professors that were just working really hard and trying to make school as easy for us, and trying to make it as normal, and giving us that same one-on-one, that same teaching, that just everything, trying to make everything the same as if Corona didn't exist. So having professors treat us in that sense, it honestly gave me a desire to want to teach in the future. And oh my goodness, if y'all knew me even a few years ago, I would always say, oh, I never want to be a teacher. I never want to be a teacher. I just never want to be a teacher. Nothing against teachers. I think that it takes a very special person to be a teacher. And that's why I never wanted to be a teacher, because I did not want to do everything that teachers did, because they do so much, literally so much. But just seeing like the impact that my professors had on me and seeing the impact that they had on the other students, and just seeing what different things could actually be done to help make things easier for students just kind of gave me a desire to teach. So I don't know, maybe in the future I will be teaching once I graduate. So that'd be pretty cool, but we'll see. Now, my next category, of course, is rheumatoid arthritis. And this one was something because so much changed. Like, we had to go to virtual appointments, which was crazy because you're just so used to always going to the doctor's office. But I realized that I enjoyed not actually driving there and back from the doctor's, which would take me 2 hours round trip, and then spending an hour at the doctor's office. I much rather preferred just do virtual appointments. It was so easy to I was folding laundry right before I actually started my appointment. My doctor popped on, we talked, I did a little physical exam in front of her, and it was so simple and it was so smooth. And I did realize that virtual appointments are very helpful, but of course I do want to see her in person. I can't wait to see her in person because of course that personal interaction, there are some things that you can catch in person that you may not catch on the video. But of course, I would say that I did appreciate the virtual appointments. It was just so convenient, and I appreciate that conveniency. I also realized with my RA that it's changing, and it's always changing. And I have to accept that it is always changing, and that's okay. And it's just all about rolling with the punches. And so I feel like with 2021, I really learned how to roll with the punches. So once my RA started to kind of ramp up towards the end of 2020, and I was having issues with just getting my medication, and there's just so much that was going on, it was almost like I was not immune, but I was so used to rolling with the punches from Corona that, okay, throw another punch at me. I'm fine. We'll do it. We'll get to the next day. It's okay. So I really realized that I gained like more strength when it comes to dealing with my RA just because of Corona. I also learned how important it is to just rest. When everything shut down, we were forced to rest. We were forced to take a break. Well, of course I was. I know not everyone was, but I was forced to just sit there. And I really realized how important sitting there really is and how helpful that actually is. And the last thing, definitely not the least, the most important thing of my life that I noticed that changed was my relationship with God. I realized in 2020 just how big and important his promises are. I really realized that what God says is so true. And I really clung to all of his promises during this year to help get me through this year. And to see that here we are, it is New Year's Eve, 2021 is tomorrow, and I'm still standing, I'm still here, I'm healthy, I'm alive, I'm well, and I woke up this morning with another opportunity. And I just feel like that I know that there are people that passed away from the virus or caught the virus, got really sick, and there's just been so much craziness that has happened in people's lives. And so sometimes it's really hard to just sit there and think, well, thank you. Thank you that I'm still here. Thank you that this happened, or just thanking for different things while we're going through something that's difficult. But I just had to take a moment and realize that there are going to be tough days. There are going to be rough days. Just because I believe in God doesn't mean that I won't experience rough days. But I do know that since I believe in God, that my time here on earth is not forever. It is like that. It is a small snippet of what he has for me in eternity. And that is what I really need to focus on. I need to focus on not just sitting here on earth, because it's only for a little second, but what I can do to help spread love and show people the love of God so that they can experience eternity with me as well. So yeah, just going back in 2020, I've learned a lot. I have grown a lot. I've appreciated the little things, so many little things, and I've learned to love more. I think that's my biggest thing, is that I've learned to love people harder, love people more, and just actually be present in the moment and just be there for people. So going into 2021, I hope to carry those same traits. There's so much that's going on. I start clinic and chiropractic school. I will get married, and it's just crazy how much could actually change in 2021. And so I know that everything that I went through in 2020 was to prepare me for 2021. And so I'm thankful. I'm thankful 2020 happened, and I am thankful that I'm walking out of it a different person, because in order for me to achieve everything that I want to achieve, I have to continue changing. I have to continue evolving. I have to continue becoming better. So yeah, so that is just my recap of 2020 and 2021. And of course, y'all can find me on Instagram. Y'all can email me. Doesn't matter. I will respond. And I hope that 2021 is great for everyone. And I hope that everyone sees how much they've grown and how just the difference 2020 has done to them in such a positive way. And so yeah, that's all I have. So I hope you all have a great rest of y'all's day.